We left England an hour or so ago, and there was very little wind in the beginning, so we had to motor out from the islands. But now we have the spinnaker up and heading south to France, and I think we're gonna head for Ushant, an island outside of Brest. We're not really sure, we're gonna see once we get there if we continue to the mainland, but that's like our first option, and I think that's about 100 miles. So we're not doing very much speed, we're doing like 5 knots, a little less sometimes. But the wind will pick up later on, so we think it might be around 20 hours. And we choose to go this very calm day because we had a lot of uncomfortable sails lately. It's been very little wind the past days, so now the sea is flat, and we enjoy a nice sail better than to get there faster. As we left England in the late afternoon, it soon turned into night at the English Channel, a night watch that keeps you awake with many vessels on the water. It's a very early morning still, but there is some first lights on the horizon, and then it was soon day again. It's a little bit unfortunate for us because the wind forecast was a little bit better than what we got, so we've already been out for like 20 hours, and I don't know, the time goes up all the time now, but I think that's 4 hours left for like an hour now, so it probably will be 4 hours left for a while more, because now we are meeting the currents, so the currents start to come against us, and it will increase to about 2 knots, so we're probably soon down to 3 knots forward, and then it's gonna be a long evening. But it's a beautiful day with the sun is up. Unfortunately there is not enough wind to sail anymore. There I think you can see the lighthouse. We've been able to see Ushant in front of us for a while now, but it's very frustrating. We're making about 2 knots in the current, so it's still gonna be a couple of hours to get there, and there's a little bit of an Atlantic swell coming in, so we hope it's going to be fairly calm in the anchorage. Yeah. We left Ushant a little while ago, just before the sun came out, and we just made a quick stop there to get some sleep, and now we are heading for the mainland of France. I think Morgat will be, I think that's how it's pronounced, will be our first stop. And we just had a small debate. Gunnar is convinced that he hears better when when he has his sunglasses on. I'm not really sure, but he has a very nice theory about that.
Well, it's true actually, because when I'm not having my sunglasses, my beanie pushes towards my ears.
And that's why you don't respond to anything I say.
And when I wear my sunglasses, it takes the beanie out of from the ears, and it makes me hear better. So I hear better with my sunglasses on.
I'm definitely gonna give this a try, because normally when I say something it just ignores me and it's like, you're speaking too quiet, you have to speak louder. And I'm pretty sure I speak loud enough. So now once I want him to listen, I'm gonna give him his sunglasses. a really beautiful sailing today. We are just turning around the tip of land here and head a bit north to our intended port. It's been kind of flat water, not flat water, but at least a lot less rolly than the other days. So we made about 6 knots most of the time.
But turning upwind things changed and it turned into wet sailing.
We have been attacking for quite a while now, the last part of the day. We think we have too much wind and sea against us to run the engine, so we keep tacking. But it's a lovely day, so but it's only us out, I think. We saw another boat leaving an anchorage in this wind, and they try to run the engine upwind, and they are super slow progress. So I think beating is better.
Surprising how calm it can feel once you are in a protected port. Mugat has a few visitor berths, some mooring buoys and lots of space to anchor, in the giant bay lined with a beautiful beach. The beachside promenade was not at all bad, but there were even nicer trail hikes in this area that offer turquoise water views from far above and a nice forest shade. Trail led back to the calm and quiet village. After a few days we felt it was time to move on, a departure we had to time properly.
We're at the moment heading to one of the trickiest parts to sail here. There was one of those inside of, well, between Ushant and the mainland, but there we choose to stay at Ushant, so we didn't have to go in between. And now we are going towards Douarnenez, which is the second of those nasty places to pass through at the wrong time. So we are trying to time the tide and the current. So you have to calculate from the high water in Brest and then add up the hours when you have the current with us. So we had the high water in Brest at around 7:30 in the morning, and then we have some hours to pass here, but in the morning there was no wind. We got a bit chicken. The French boat that was lying on the side of us speeded up and started their engine. So we're thinking, we still think we have calculated right, but we are kind of also thinking we might be late since they want to speed up. So we also start the engine and get the hang of them. So I'd rather run the engine for like half an hour than to be caught up in those currents. So might be worth it. Currently you can call up to the lighthouse up there to ask about the conditions before you pass here. But I think today it's going to be fairly calm.
beautiful dolphins joined us a long part of the somewhat wet sail to Concarneau, where we could dock right next to the walls of the historic old town from the 14th century. A place with lots of charm that we soon fell in love with. Might it be because we were here before the tourist season? But Gunnar also found another new love.
It's such a really pretty old town inside of the walls that we saw when we came in, and it's not very lively at the moment. It's very closed down, most of the places. There are some restaurants and bars still open, but I think it's almost 8 in the evening, and I guess we are well before the tourist season. What did you just find?
Something so beautiful. I can't stand this. It's my dream boat, the catamaran over there. It's an Outermeer. It's an Outermeer 51, I think. Oh my god, it's so beautiful.
We are in Concarneau, which by first impression is super pretty. My expectations were set super high when we plan to sail here, which always makes Gunnar a little bit nervous because I'm not too good at taking disappointments. But it's this far it exceeds my expectations. Last night we took a little tour inside the walls in the old town, and now we're gonna go and explore some more. And it's a perfect summer feeling day at the moment, so we might stay here for a while. I think we're gonna enjoy.
If you liked this episode, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, to join us next week as we explore the Atlantic islands of France.